Okay. Hey, uh, okay, so welcome people from the future. Welcome to this stream. Uh, I feel like this, like the camera quality is bad, but this background is pretty cool. Hey, undecided feelings. How are you doing? By the way, I'm sorry because I don't have my microphone yet, so I don't have a computer yet, so I'll create the song with you. I'll record it when I get it, but I haven't forgotten. How are you? I'm fine. What about you? Do you keep making music? What are your dreams actually? What do you want to do later in the future? Don't worry, it doesn't matter how the recording turns out. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll try to create something good, but it's taking a while before I get a computer. Um, there's two people watching right now, so type something in the chat if you're alive and breathing, so that we know you're not dead. Could you write a song with the concept Icarus? Yeah, I already wrote one actually. The name of the song is Icarus Part One, but it's not a great song. There was a period of time when I freestyled songs, and it's a few of them are good, but this one isn't. Um, what do you want to do later? Undecided feelings when you're older. Let me. Can we? Uh, okay. Yeah. I don't speak English, so I'm trying to understand it. Okay. I'm going to write it down. There. Okay. I have a few things that I want to say, and okay. Let me try to get centered. Uh, so yeah, what do you want to do? Um, so let me start with that. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So this this in the picture. The name of this person is Lil Peep, Little Peep, like a chicken. It's the artist name of this person, and he was a musician who was active in like 2014, from 2014 to 2017, and who was born in 1996 and who died in 2017, a few days after he turned 21, like 2 weeks after turning 21 years old, from a drug overdose. He is one of the people that influenced me and impacted me a lot. And so let's start with that. So this is yeah, and there's also this other, and as you can see, like it's the same person, but he looks very very young in this picture. Despite all of the tattoos and everything, he looks very young. And there's someone else that influenced me a lot. And the name of this person is Jesse Onfroy. He was born in 1998 and he made music too. They were both Americans. And he died in. He made music from about 2014 to 2018 and he died in 2018. And this is what he looks like. And this is an earlier picture. And same thing as the first one, as Little Peep. He looks very young. And the thing is that these two people, they died in and 2018. What I'd like to do is to continue my musical career, grow as an artist and make better music, but I'd like to study a degree since music would be a hobby. Okay, so you want to become a musician but not do it full time, is that correct? Do you get inspired by them to make your music? Not that much anymore. And I guess I was inspired musically by them, but it was more like I don't know, emotionally, I guess emotionally impacted. I don't really know how or why. I don't really know. It wasn't really in terms of worldview or values, or in terms of. I guess okay. So there's this. Let me look it up. So I wanted to come to that later on. Okay, we're digging kind of deep, and this is a streamer that I like. Um, Lil Peep. This music video was released in 8 years. It's iconic, like from the clothes to the haircut to the moves and everything. But like it was released in 2017, and there's this guy Lil Peep who had already been making music for several years and who was starting to uh, become more popular, and who is doing the flaunting like moves and making his song. And I w- it was released when I was like 13 or 14, and I watched it when I was maybe 16, and the only thing that I felt was that I felt jealous because I didn't know that by the time that I watched that he had died. I didn't know anything about him. I just knew one thing, which is what I saw, which was that this person was not much older than I was and was doing all those incredible things. And it seems like he was famous and he was popular and he was making music and he was confident and he was rich and he was doing something. He was living the dream, making a music video, and it was everything that I wanted. Oh, it's too fast. It was everything that I wanted, and I felt very jealous because I thought, why him and not me? So I didn't keep watching, and I did something else, and I discovered him again a few years later. So I think this was my first, one of my first interactions discovering this person. So, do you know? Okay, and this other person, XXX Tentation, XXX Tentation, at about the same time, I was about 15 and I had dropped out of school, had stopped going to school, and I remember one evening we were eating in a restaurant with my mother and my grandmother, and I left and I went to my mother's car and I listened to a song that he made. I think the name of the song is Orlando. And I replayed it on loop and a few other songs of his um, question mark album. I didn't like them all. There were some that I didn't like, some of the songs, but there were some songs that I liked. So I listened to them and it gave me comfort because it was a hard time. I had stopped going to school. I didn't know where I was going, what the future would be. I was scared. I don't remember much of this time. So it may be this actually that, but it was a while ago. But I guess it was helpful to me, at least a bit. At least a bit. His music was helpful to me. Are they all of the same genre? They're all males. Yeah, yeah. Oh wow, wait. Okay, so I'm not. Can you still hear me? Because it seems that I've played uh, Lil Peep's video and my stream isn't. I can't. I can't. I'm not sure whether my stream is still up. Okay, so There's these two people, and you know, undecided feelings, you may not have ever heard of them. Can you sing Dancing in the Dark? Okay, I can do that. I'm going to finish my idea. I need to remember that. Okay, okay. So there's these two people. I'm going to sing it right now, actually, because otherwise I'll forget. So keep in mind that I'm still in training. I'm not a K-pop idol yet. Sounds amazing. Thank you very much. Okay. Dancing in the dark room. Okay. I don't remember the lyrics, so I'm looking them up. And I'm dancing it, and I'm dancing with my eyes closed now. And I'm dancing with the lights on now. No, I'm not on pitch. And I'm dancing with my eyes closed now. And I'm dancing with the lights out now. And I'm dancing in a dark room now. Everything's black, but I feel the fire. And I'm dancing with my eyes closed now. And I'm dancing with the lights on now. Dancing in the dark room now, falling apart, but I feel alive. Oh, it's all gonna be alright now. It's all gonna be alright now. It's all gonna be alright. I'll just hold on to my arms. Lying in the dark as I fall asleep, looking at the sky, what am I supposed to see? Memories of life that I used to live. Pictures in the wall of what used to be. When are things finally gonna change like this? All alone, sad, only help like this. Who am I kidding? Just a friend. I'm dancing in the dark right now. I'm dancing with my eyes closed now. I'm dancing in the dark room now, falling apart, but I feel the fire. And I'm dancing with my eyes closed now. I'm dancing with my eyes closed now. Dancing in the dark room now, falling apart, but I feel the fire. Okay, that was an attempt. Oh, hey, Vengeful, how are you doing? The video song, thank you very much. Not, I'll improve my singing abilities. I'll get better. I even tried to make time a little bit in the styles that you would be comfortable singing it. Okay. We'll see what we do with this. Where is that on your screen? Yes, that's XXX Lil Peep. And hence, what else? There's a member of the Beatles named George Harrison who made an album named, I think it was All Things Must Pass. Yes, All Things Must Pass. And I feel like it's a useful description for everything because there's someone. I do have access to Wikipedia. Let me open Wikipedia. So, on Wikipedia, there is a list of the best-selling music artists. So the first one, it's as you could imagine, it's the Beatles, Michael Jackson, and Elvis. And the thing is that it's not just them. In the bracket one step below, there are more recent people like Eminem, Taylor Swift, and Ed Sheeran, and like Drake, Kanye, Bieber, Bruno Mars, Britney Spears, and all. But also, I'm not sure they are shown here because he's older. But there's someone who you probably have never heard of if you're younger than like 70 years old. Bing Crosby. He was born in 1903. He became a musician and he became an enormously popular musician. He recorded 1,600 songs. He is considered one of the most influential musicians of the 20th century worldwide. He made movies, 70 movies. He influenced Frank Sinatra, Elvis, and John Lennon. He was the most admired man alive, ahead of the Pope. And in 1948, his music was half of the total amount of music played on the radio in the US. So that's that's ridiculous. Imagine if every time, so it's not the radio anymore, there's streaming and all, but every time you listen to music, half of what you listen to is one single artist. Like whenever you listen to Spotify or to the radio or anything, half of the songs that you listen to are Drake or Ed Sheeran. This is the level. And imagine if Drake is the most admired man alive ahead of the Pope. And imagine if Drake influences the next musicians that are as impactful as Sinatra, Elvis, and John Lennon. It's insane. It's ridiculous. And just 100 years later, like he was very famous in the 40s and 50s, so just 70 years later, no one has very, or not young people, but very few people have even heard of this guy. So I think it's very um, undecided and hope should collab. Yeah, we're going to, we're going to, we're going to, we're going to collab. That's why I love house music for the calm. It's transmits. Okay. Oh, I see. I see. I don't. Yeah. Okay. Like dancing in a dark room, like this song. My songs aren't always calm, but like some of them are. So there's this person, Bing Crosby. There's George Harrison. There's Lil Peep and XXXTentacion. And it's not just in music. For example, people usually do know the name Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller, but they don't know, or they may have heard of Carnegie because of the Carnegie Hall in the US, and Ford because of the car. They may not be very familiar with the name Vanderbilt. They're usually not familiar with the name Astor or like Fugger. And they're not familiar with, for example, okay, he's not even here. There's You guys should look him like two songs, one slow and one more powerful, and one fast with a good beat and super catchy. Okay, okay. I'm writing it down. So, there's let me try to find it. So yeah, look at this. Because the people that I've talked about are entrepreneurs. So they're not musicians, it's another category of job. This is Forbes ranking of the richest people in America in 1918. So Forbes is a magazine and media thing about business basically, and they make a regular list of the richest people in the world. And this is the ranking of the richest people in 1918. So 110 years ago. It's a very bad picture. So and then again it's ridiculous. The first one was Rockefeller, and then the second one wasn't Carnegie, but was Henry Clay Frick, who was Carnegie's partner. I guess you could call them that, business partner. And the other people here, people in the US or in other places, especially if they've studied a bit of business, may have heard of Rockefeller, Carnegie, and Ford, maybe of Astor, Schwab, JP Morgan, and Vanderbilt, but they have probably never heard of Baker, Harkness, Armour, Green, Harriman, Stillman, Ryan, Guggenheim, Sage, maybe McCormick, Widener, James, all those people. And the thing is that those people were insane, incredible people that created immense things from scratch. But after 100 years, nothing at all remains. Armour lost it all. Uh, John D. Rockefeller gave it all away. Carnegie gave it all away. Frick spent a lot uh, for when there's still the Ford car company. The Vanderbilt dynasty is dead. The Astor dynasty is dead. So it's as for musician and about in anything that you in any field that you can try to understand, it's the same pattern. The pattern is that what was big, the pattern is that nothing remains. This too shall pass. What is big doesn't remain big for long, usually. And it doesn't remain big forever. And what is small can grow. And it's all just physics and cause-effect relationships and all. And I think this is very important because I personally was heavily impacted and influenced by Lil Peep and XXXTentacion, but they are not special. And if no one remembers the guy that had half of the radio airplay time just 70 years later, and who was more admired than the Pope, then nothing will remain and no one will remember XXX or Lil Peep. And the goal isn't to be remembered or anything, but it's very, I don't know, I find it, I don't know. I find it very depressing that nothing remains and that everything gets erased in the winds of history so fast. And it's going to be, like the universe has been around for 14 billion years. Humanity, the Homo sapiens species, has been around for 200 to 300,000 years. It's a speck of dust. 1 million years compared to 14 billion years is negligible. And you can look it up, and actually I'm going to look it up so that it's easier to see. Like the song Two Young Kids. What is the song Two Young Kids? So uh, okay, let's start with that. It's not perfect, but it's enough. But you can get better visual representations. So yeah, it's not great. No, it's not going to be very useful. So, but basically, the thing is that the species don't last forever. They evolve. They literally, biologically evolve. They change Like they get into a new environment, and the members that are more adapted make more children, so the genes get passed down, and all the time the genes change, and it's happening uh, all the time. It's slow compared to a human life, but the human species is evolving as the uh, a fly species or a fish species. And so you get, for example, the same members of the same species. You got members of the same species that going to an environment that is very humid, very wet, or another one that is very dry. And after several generations, after like uh, maybe like 10 million years, they're going to be very different because the species as a whole will have become adapted to the specific environment, and eventually they may diverge to the point where they cannot have offspring with one another anymore, and so there are no different species. So I mean it's just biology. You can read a middle school biology book if you want to learn more. What I want to say, what I'm trying to say is that even species don't last forever, including the human species. We can we have big brains, big brains, so we can go to the moon and we can do things never done before. But we're still subject to the laws of physics. So we may expand the length of time that the human species as a whole survives. But at some point, the human species is going to die out, to go extinct. And it's why Elon and others are trying to go to Mars or solve climate change or things like that, or solve AGI, create an AGI. But unless you can change the fundamental rules, the fundamental laws of physics, it's a losing game because at some point, like even if everything is solved and we can survive forever, there's still going to be the heat death of the universe in a very long time. But it means that we're still going to die at some point. When I first learned that, I'm not sure what I felt, but it didn't feel good to learn that maybe it's all pointless, nihilism and all. And so I guess recently I've just learned that at a smaller scale, at the scale of one life, what remains and what disappears, it's much shorter than I thought. Things disappear much faster. And I don't think, or, we can hope, but it doesn't seem that in, say, 500 years or even 100 years, much will remain of Lil Peep or XXXTentacion. Because not much will remain of anything. Religions don't last forever. There was Zoroastrianism, and then there were the Greek religions, and then there was Christianity, and it will end, and there will be a new variation of this. And like we're on a live stream, and when you're watching this live or in replay, and everything will end, and YouTube will end, and It's a cool picture. YouTube will end, and Google at some point will end as a company. It won't exist anymore. It will go bankrupt, or it will be bought out by another company, or it will uh, change so much that it won't be recognizable. But at some point, it will just go bankrupt. At some point. But these other things can happen in the meantime, and at some point, you will die, and I will die. Nothing of all of these live streams, of anything will remain. And then the universe will die on all. And so, I didn't intend to talk about the heat death of the universe. I intended to talk about how even for a single, even for someone who creates things that have an impact, they last for a very short amount of time. And these live streams won't stay for long. And like this era won't stay for long, the era zero. The live arc is going to end in 20 days. And then I'll do things and I'll keep growing and learning and doing things, and it will be long gone, and then I'll die at some point. And I'm still not sure what to think about this or. But there's something else that I want to talk about, which is that despite this very short time where during which things matter, Lil Peep or XXXTentacion will never learn and grow and change and see how the world changes. And will never change it because they died. And they died young. And so they didn't see the student protest for climate change. They didn't see the rise of Billie Eilish. They didn't see Taylor Swift's reputation era and then the following era and how she keeps creating the world. They didn't see Mr. Beast go from a weird kid in his room making videos to becoming the world shaper with 5 gazillion subscribers and becoming a billionaire and removing 30 million tons of trash from the ocean, planting 20 million trees, helping 2 million people have safe water, and all of those things. They didn't see Elon go from a random businessman to becoming the most impactful person in history so far. They didn't see that they won't see Starship, they won't see Mars missions, they won't see what Mr. Beast and Elon and others will do. They won't see what I will do. When they were there, I was just a weird kid in my room being sad. And that's that's what I was doing. And they won't see the incredible things that don't even imagine that will happen in 10, 20, 30, 50 years, 100 years, 5,000 years. So I probably won't see them either, which is very sad. They won't see ChatGPT, they won't see GPT 15 and whatever incredible things it will be. They won't see at the end of the Arab Springs, the revolution. They won't see the world change. They won't see the AI technological revolution. They won't see the next technological revolution. They won't see the world change. And I feel like that's a big loss. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Okay, wait a second. Okay, I need to to create some. Where was it? I need. Yeah, exactly. Like One Piece won't last forever. Your universe will die soon is Lucky Fire. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's exactly what I was feeling and what I was trying to express. And I guess it's sometimes I feel emotions, and if and the leave, the fade, so I make songs about them, about the emotion that I feel, so that something remains. It won't remain forever, but it will remain a bit more. But I guess it won't. It's not very useful anymore now that there's AI generated music and no musicians anymore. It's not very useful to have great horses when cars get created and democratized. And now, 3 years ago, it was the beginning of AI generated visual art. And I was very scared because I thought that it was going to happen to music too, and that therefore there wouldn't be musicians anymore because the market would be flooded by AI generated songs. And like it would just be like, why have a horse as a means of transportation when you have cars? Why listen to imperfect music that is completely adapted to what you want to feel, or to if you want to exercise, then it's going to be exactly what you want. It's going to learn from what you like and dislike. So why listen to human music? Why? Or like, not even, it's not human versus mechanic. It's not the problem is, it's just going to be better. So why pick a worse solution? And so I was very scared because I thought, well, what I want to do is to become a musician, and if I can't become a musician, then I have nothing left. And it's been what I've been trying so hard for so long, and it's been my only goal and my only dream and the only thing that I care about, and my only plan and all that, and maybe it's over. It I won't be able to become a musician anymore. Too late. I wanted to become a great horse horseman and all, but now there are cars. So too late, too bad, to that. And I was extremely scared, and I'm less scared. I don't know why, because it's not getting better, and it's actually going. Like there's Suno, and there are AI generating a platform, and they make great songs. So, and it's only going to get better. So it may happen. It may be the end of musicians as what they are now. There may still be celebrities or live shows, but it may be the end of musicians as they were. And it's not the first time, streaming was the end of musicians as they were. CDs and vinyls and discs were the end of musicians that were only live musicians. And even then, before that, musicians were just like pianists. So it's not an end, it's just a change. But it hurts. Change hurts. So in 2022, I wrote a song about it. The name of the song is To the Coming Wind. And the lyrics aren't there, but 2022, yeah, October 9th. So I was 19 years old when I wrote it. I'm going to read the lyrics. I'm going to take a break and drink some water in between. Dude, we aren't built to worry about the future, only worry about the present. Well, that's partly correct based on what I know, like the hyperbolic discounting, cognitive bias, the short-term bias, and although we can still, but yeah, I mean because like in the savannah, you don't worry about compounding for 50 years. You just worry about eating some things that you survive. So we still have these things because they're adapted to the savannah, and we don't. The evolution speed isn't very fast because the like human lifetime is pretty long compared to mosquitoes, for example. Biblically, the world is only a few years away from ending, like 20-ish, so theoretically we may be able to watch the universe die. What does it mean? What does ending mean? The word ending mean in this context? Does it mean like the heat death of the universe? Or does it mean like the apocalypse and like the devil with horns, or like the horseman of the apocalypse uh, coming to the earth? Or does it mean like something like the big rip scenario where things are just stretched and end very quickly? I'm going to drink some water. it means those who are faithful will be brought up to heaven, and those who aren't will stay on earth, where Satan or the devil takes over all of earth for 7 years. Is it a metaphor, or is it what in the Bible is um, supposed to happen for real? Like, is it a metaphor? And I don't know enough about Christianity or the Bible to discuss a thing or to understand. No, it's literally first we have 7 years of peace, then 7 years of hell. And so that's and so is this only about Earth? Like, what happens to the solar system, or to Mars, or to like the moon, or other galaxies, or like other life forms? Or is it the universe as a whole, like everything that exists? All elements will melt. So that's kind of like everything dies or disappears. So that's kind of like the Big Rip. So the hell is that everything. Hell is when hell happens. It's that. Sorry, I'm trying to understand. So it may be dumb questions. Maybe dumb questions. Uh, yeah, it's probably dumb questions. I apologize for the questions. I'm trying to understand. So, um, the 7 years of hell, or when all elements melt, is that correct or not? Is that what the 7 years of hell are? Oh, okay, okay. During the 7 years of hell, nobody can die. So, 7 years of non-stop torture. So, is it after these 7 years that the elements melt? But though I'm not trying to be disrespectful of the Bible or anything, I don't know much, so I'm trying to understand. I apologize if the questions are uh, sound disrespectful. I don't intend to. Hi, I can only be there for a bit. Hey, so kid, sorry boy, sorry boy. How are you doing, sorry boy? What are you? What do you want to do in the future, sorry boy? After the 7 years of hell, the world will essentially be remade and start over. Okay, so okay. I'm trying to wrap my hand around the idea. So that's 7 years of peace, then some. Okay, that's more like, hasn't the universe been created in 7 days or something, the Bible. So there's the 7 days where the universe is created, then humans do things and all, and then there's the 7 years of peace, and then 7 years of hell, and then it goes back to the beginning. This is the creation. This is so uh, so it's like, isn't it like the universe is 5,000 years old or something? So that's 5,000 years. That's 7 years. That's 7 years, and this is 7 days. In the future, I would like to, I don't know what, but science based. Okay, like a researcher, like a chemistry researcher or something, trying to understand the universe. Okay. Yeah. Oh wait, this is this lagging? Biblically, the world is almost 7,000 years. So that's at first the universe is created. God creates the universe. Then the universe is there for 7,000 years, and then we're currently here, and then there's 7 years of peace, and then 7 years of hell, and then there's the end of the universe and the start of the universe again, which is not really the universe, it's mostly Earth. And during the 7 years of peace, I don't know what happened. During the 7 years of hell, it's torture, and then the elements melt like the Big Rip, and God creates a new universe. Is it kind of like that? Yeah, the universe kind of thing. Okay, like astronomy. Have to go at the end. See you, sorry kid. Sorry boy. Sorry kid. I'll try to join back. Okay. I'm not sure how long this stream will last, but it was great having you in anyway. Have a great dinner. The Christian cosmology about how the universe works. Approximately. But it doesn't seem that bad because if is it like if you commit a lot of sins, you're tortured more than if you commit only a few? Or is it that no matter if you commit more than one sin, then you're tortured and everyone is tortured as much, no matter whether you uh, stole $5 or you committed a genocide? No matter how many sins, it's like a free, it's more cost effective to try to do as many sins as you can if you're going to be punished the same. Why stop at stealing $5 if you can steal $5 billion and go through the same punishment? seems more rational to try to commit as many sins as possible. Especially as the punishment isn't that insane. 7 years of torture seems not fun at all, but it's not like 7 billion years of torture. And the thing is that if I understand that correctly, even if you've committed no sin and you're in heaven, you're still going to melt when the elements melt, when the universe dies. And you're still going to die and disappear and maybe be reincarnated or something, but. Or no. Isn't it that when you go to heaven, you stay in heaven forever? But then what does it mean? Does it mean that heaven is not going to be impacted by the universe, the elements melting in the universe? Or is it like that it's another universe? Heaven is another universe, so it's not impacted by what happens in the Earth universe? Everybody has sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So does it mean that everyone is going to be tortured? If I guess everyone has sinned at least once, like not being polite or like stealing $1 or something like that. So yes, everybody will be tortured other than those who have given their life to Christ. What if you're already dead? If like you die a year before the 7 years of hell, or you brought back to life so that you can be tortured, or do you like just go to hell and then you're tortured in hell? So is it like in any way people would have gone to heaven or gotten tortured in hell, but it just makes it faster because oh wow, because the cap is faster. You don't go to hell at like 80 years old, you go to hell or to heaven after 7 years, no matter whether you're 1 year old or 80. So it's like a filter. But then, like, if you're 1 year old, do you go to heaven or hell? Is it like you're assumed to be innocent because you're young? And the 5 years old may be safe. Okay. I guess it was really sucky if like the day before the 7 years of hell start, you steal candy and then you torture for 7 years. And you're 6 years old. Or like you're 5 years old and the one 5 years and the one day. Or like you're 10 years old. It only counts when you know what sinning is. Okay. So I guess everyone sins at least a few times. So is it that when you give your life to Christ, it makes up for it? Or is it like a balance where if you do great things for people like you, uh, help homeless people, then it cancels some of the sins that you've done. So uh, if you steal money but then you give it away, then it's okay. If giving it away has more impact than stealing it, like stealing it removes, like makes 5 people worse off, but giving it away makes 50 people better off in a poor country. Giving your life to Christ pretty much excuses your sins. So it's not about results. It's not about making people better off or worse off. It's about the fitness function is Christ and not people. Is that correct? I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Should do. Yes. Okay. So and this is something like a free pass. Like if you give your life to Christ, then you can do any sins that you want. Or is there a limit to the amount of sins, or like the scale of or the magnitude of sins that you can do? Like if you like the missionaries that went around a few centuries ago, killing people to promote Christianity. Though some of them, like some of them may have increased public good by building schools and creating free markets, and also like Genghis Khan. So for a part of them, the net result may have been positive. So those killing people, if it's so that you help Christ, is it excused or not? Or like in the war, helping people makes you richer in heaven, like more blessed. Everyone in heaven has a sort of mansion, but those who do nice and better things have bigger mansions. Okay, okay. Okay. And like if you do cool, oh wow, okay. If you do uh, nice things, like you give your life to Christ and all, and you do nice things, but more effectively. For example, instead of volunteering every week, you create a non-profit or a for-profit, and you scale it up, and now you employ, or you do like Mr. Beast or Bill Gates, and now there are millions of people doing this because you have a business model that works and that can scale up. And so you do millions of times the impact that you would have if you did it on your own. Do you get a bigger mansion? Because it's not you directly doing it, but well, it's you indirectly doing it. Because if you didn't do that, then nothing would exist. It wouldn't exist. It wouldn't happen. You have infinite passes for sins, but should still try to not do them. No excuse. You still have to explain to God why you sinned. Oh, okay. Okay, though it seems like, oh, okay, so the main difference is, so basically, if you give your life to Christ, what does it mean giving your life to Christ? Doesn't mean like going to church. If you don't have a church nearby, doesn't mean like praying at night. So if you give your life to Christ, then you can commit as many sins as you want and you go to heaven, except you have to explain your sins. If you don't give your life to Christ, then you can commit as many sins or as few sins as you want and you go to hell. So I guess you don't have to explain your sins because you go to hell. So the main factor is not how many sins you commit, but whether you give your life to Christ. The number of sins or the how bad they are doesn't really matter much. Though it gets you a smaller mansion, so it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks because you get a smaller mansion in heaven. Though it's okay because if you do altruistic things, for example, you give away money, then you still get a bigger mansion. Is that correct or not? Helping people in general because you want to, not because you want a reward. Oh, so it cannot be done. Uh, okay, so it's not that you do good things like you help a homeless person so that you get more rewards when you're in heaven. It's that you help a homeless person because you want to help, but then you still need to give your life to Christ for it to count. Otherwise, you go to hell. But not if you don't commit. What happens if you commit zero sins in your life, but you don't give your life to Christ? Can you still go to heaven, or do you go to, or like, isn't there like an in between? It's not hell or heaven, it's like a waiting room. I learned this all a while ago, but I don't remember much. The purgatory or something, purgatory. Also, Christians are much more happy in life. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. It's there were studies about it. It's that when you're part of a group, but more like it needs to be a religious group. If it's just a chess club or a sports club, it doesn't work as well. But if you're part of a religious group of a community, like you go to church or to the mosque, the or whatever it is, or to um, Shinto temple every week, then you're around people and there is support. And there's a support group and you're around like-minded people and you're part of the local community and it's um, you rebound faster when there's a crisis. I think it was something like that. There was some research in psychology, and you live for like a few years longer, I think. Though you can kind of do it if you're part of a tight-knitted local group. It doesn't have to be religious. It can be a chess club or like a um, cosplay club, but it doesn't work as well. The fact that it's religious works better, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure about that. Giving your life to Christ means accepting that He died on the cross and was tortured so you can be free of sin. Can I, if someone believes in another religion but accepts that Christ died on the cross and was tortured so that the person can be free of sin, then does it mean that the person gives their life to Christ or not? If they accept that but they believe in another religion. No need to pray or go to church, but it will help with your treasures in them. Oh, okay. Oh, so that's pretty relaxed. The rules are pretty relaxed. You don't need to like go to like to uh, Jerusalem every year or something to prove that you to prove your faith. Okay, okay, I see. So it's a pretty good bet actually because okay, so yeah, so you accept that Christ has died on the cross and suffered and was tortured so that so if I accept that Christ was tortured and died on the cross so that I can be free of sin, then I give my life to Christ, which means that I get a free pass to commit sins, which seems pretty fun, though I still have to explain them to God when I die. So it's cumbersome if I commit a lot of sins. I need to find great reasons. So it's a free pass, but with conditions. I still need to not mess up too much. And then I don't have to go to church or to pray, and I don't really have to help people or do pro-social things, but I can, and if I do, then it will help with my treasures in heaven. But no matter what, I will go to heaven. So that's a very, I guess that feels really good because it's a certainty, and I find it really hard to find things that I can be certain of. The closest things that I found are like mathematical or logical proofs, but they're not things about the physical world, or it's things about F equals ma, Newton's laws of physics, which don't work like around black holes. or in around singularities. So they work well in everyday life, but they start to fail when you want to create a GPS or a satellite, for example. So even things that are as solid, it's very hard. I find it very hard to find things I can be certain about. So I guess if I have certainty about something as important in my everyday life as that I give my life to Christ, so when I die, I'll go to heaven. It, yeah, I kind of understand how you can live a longer and more happy life because I wouldn't be so stressed out and always in war mode all the time, I think. I wouldn't be trying so hard either. I wouldn't be trying so hard to change the world because the result is already won. I'm already going to make it. But it would be more enjoyable. And especially if I'm around people that believe the same thing, then it would be pretty fun because we would be a group of people and we would be certain that everything is going to work out, that it's going to be okay. And that will be so comforting. And especially as at first I may not really believe it because I would like more data, but if everyone around me believes it, then I would get used to it and I wouldn't think about I would just accept it like as a fact of life. So that would be very comforting, I think. So I do see how people who have a very strong religious belief like that can be happier and live longer lives. It seems much more stable. Like maybe I would wake up in the morning and I would feel like today is a great day and the sun is shining and it's another day where I can have fun and then I'm going to create my life and then when it's over I'll have lived a great life and I'll go to heaven. And it would be so comforting and reassuring instead of waking up every day and feeling like God damn I really don't have time. I have a few decades left, then I'm going to die, and then it's over. And it's taking so long to reach cash flow, and I need to gather more data. I don't know how to reach my dream, and I don't know how I learn. And everything is so scary, and I don't understand the world. And I don't know how I'll do anything, or if what I want to do is even possible. I'm overwhelmed. That would be much more enjoyable, or it seems like it would be much more enjoyable to wake up and have things I'm certain of. Yeah. And the fact that then my sins are forgiven is kind of an added bonus. Because now I'm part of the elite club that will go to heaven. So I don't really have to try hard because, or maybe I'm misunderstanding it. But if my spot is guaranteed, then I'm not going to try very hard. If I knew with certainty that I was going to become a big musician, I wouldn't try very hard. but because nothing will happen if I don't try, then I try very hard. Kind of like uh, free markets and motivation and rational self-interest and all. Though I guess it kind of sucks that you get a better treasure in heaven if you do nice things, but only if you don't do them in order to get a better treasure, because then you can't really work on getting a better treasure. It's more like if you're a good person naturally, then you get a better treasure because you do better things. But if you want to get a larger treasure, then you can't really, because when you do nice things, you'll do them so that you get a better treasure, and it won't be accepted. So I guess does the rational move become to not do nice things, because even if you do them, you won't benefit from it because the returns are capped. Because if you do nice things but you don't do them because you just want to do them, if there is a hint or like a small part of or a part of self-interest, then they're not going to count. Sorry, I was thinking I didn't read your messages. No sins ever uh, equals heaven, but that's not possible. Okay, so you can't really do no sins ever. I can explain the longer life thing too. Join Discord call. Okay, well, not tonight. I'm going to end the stream soon, but yeah, we can talk about it in the Discord call. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious as for how it works. All right, so let me finish what I want to talk about. Um, it's kind of similar to the physics cosmological model with the Big Bang, and then the expansion, and then we're not sure yet of what the scenario for the end of the universe will be. It seems the current data that is available seems to point towards it being the heat death of the universe. So that would be like an expansion, and then it would just like it wouldn't really slow, but it would. Wow, that may kind of be like a S, not really a S curve, more like a capped curve like that. I'm not sure, but it would get more cold, and then it would be the end of it, and it wouldn't really be the end like the universe ends, but there would just be the energy wouldn't be usable anymore. It's not like it would shut off. It's that it would just be all cold and empty. But then there are some theories about it, about the end of the universe. There are theories that suggest that at some point in a very, very long time, there may be something like a reset or something that creates a new universe or that starts the universe again, but they are very. Um, there's not enough data yet to assess their validity. Okay, what um, tomorrow at like 4 p.m. I can explain it well. I've brought a few people to Christ. Can I recommend something though? Try listening to only Christian music for a week, like 2-3 days, and see how your mood improves. I can try the listening to Christian music. That doesn't sound very costly, but I I mean, if the, getting brought to Christ means um, accepting that Christ died on the cross so that I, for my sins, that seems pretty easy and not costly. So I can do that. That seems like hedging my bets so that if there is a Christian God, then it's pretty easy and not costly to get to heaven. In some other religion, it's more costly. So it seems like a pretty good bet. But I was raised as a Christian at first, and I went to I don't know what the name in English is. Catechism. Catechism. I did some years of catechism when I was a kid, and I went to church every few weeks on Sundays when I was a kid. Because it's what in the community, like in a rural France, people believe in uh, Christianity. So that was the default religion. But I don't remember much because I don't remember much of anything. But at some point, I went to catechism more for the cakes than for the teachings. And then we played soccer, so that was more fun than the teachings. And also the pastor was very open, and there were a few, like there was a Muslim girl, and sometimes there were Muslim people in the church. There may have been Jewish people a few times. And what he thought was that religion is more about uh, I guess it sounds cliche, but I think that what he thought was that religion is more about making the world a better place than about believing in a specific set of sacred writings. So that's the way we studied, like the Bible and the writings and things like that. But I don't remember what led to it, but I remember that after a while, I thought a lot. And what? One day I told my mother when I was going home after a catechism session that I said something like I didn't know how the world works, but it seems that if I want to do things or to get things, trying a lot isn't going to help me much. So, as a way to make change in the world, I don't know whether I believe in God, but I believe in myself. And then she uh, got angry, so I didn't say that anymore. Uh, though the father didn't really get angry because she told him, and he said that it was it was good. He said that it was a. He didn't get angry. He said that it was a cool, a good way to think. So I don't know. I don't know. But I thought it was kind of fun. I was like 8 or 10. 10. And then I went through middle school, and then I left school, and then I was sad, and then I tried to find answers because the world didn't seem the world seemed pointless. So I read um, New Age philosophy books, which were very comforting, but after a while, I still felt like there was something that was wrong because it wasn't logical, it wasn't solid. There were some fissures, some cracks in the model in New Age philosophy. So I read some religious books. I read um, part of the Quran. I read part of the Bible. I read the main like Hindu, Jewish, um, Asian religions, some African religions, some Eastern religions, and the different types of Christians books. Like I don't remember the name, but like like there are several schools of thoughts with variations, and I read them all, and that it wasn't very. I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't satisfied. There was no complete model that made complete sense with no logical holes. So I still stayed for like 2 years with New Age philosophy because it was the best thing that I found. But at some point, it could only help so much before failing. because there are still were logical holes and it still didn't work. So at some point it was obvious that it didn't work. So I'm not sure about the others, but at least New Age philosophy is what happened. It was a pretty big disappointment, though it was on me. It was my fault because I did see from the beginning that there was something wrong and that I I ignored that feeling. So it came back to bite me, and I wasted some time on that. And I did pretty dangerous things because of the beliefs, and it could have ended very badly. I could have died. So yeah, no, not a great experience. And the end result is that I lost a lot of time. And then I studied some science and all, but it doesn't offer answers as for how to live. It just explains what is the best explanation that we currently have, which is temporary because it's how the scientific method works, and which is based on the available data, which is incomplete. So it's not certain at all. And it just gives data and explanation for how things work and not for how I should live. And it's useful to know that the universe is very probably going to end, but it doesn't help much in knowing then this is what you should do. Though it was very helpful to learn how the universe works based on the data that we have, which is not complete, and the theories are not perfect or complete and will change and will get updated. It's just the best explanation that exists so far based on currently available data, but that's not certainty either. So at some point, I had a nihilistic mindset because that seemed to be the conclusion of the available data, and then I started working on music all the time, and I stopped thinking about this all, and it's where I am. Though I've learned more in the meantime about how the world works. And I've learned that more is possible too. That more exists, that more can be done. So that's where I'm going now. I guess yeah. Not really I don't it's not really religious beliefs. I guess it's more like my direction now, my goal, where I guess my current philosophy is that if everything will end and if I will live for a limited amount of time, and if nothing will remain, then it seems more fun to do things that are exciting than not to. And not much that I've found so far seems more exciting than doing like Mr. Beast or Elon. Not much seems more thrilling. So that's what I'm working on. But I'll keep learning so this will change or at least get updated. I don't have all the answers. I wouldn't be here if I had them. And now that I've learned a bit more, I'm very, very well aware of how much I don't know and the oceans of knowledge and data that I don't even know about, that I don't even know exist. I'm very well aware of how much I'm ignorant about, ignorant of. But it means I can learn and I can improve and I can become better and more effective over time and I can do cool things later. I can learn how to do cool things and I can do them, I think. So I guess we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So I didn't see what you um, wrote. For Christian music, go to Google and look up 91.3 WCSG radio station. 91.3. The only thing that kept me from becoming depressed after my cousin died was a Bible verse. Oh yeah, I guess yeah. We do find comfort wherever we can. I think it's part of what makes the BTS army fandom like this, which is that for them it's BTS who were there when the people needed help. And it's the same for some Lil Peep and XXXTentacion fans. It's what I want to create too. With both the songs and the community and the documentaries and all that, there's a video by some guy who has a YouTube channel named Diary of a CEO and who interviewed Mr. Beast. And at the beginning, he says, "Thank you because you've shown me that more is possible, that I can dream," or something like that. And I didn't. It articulated what I thought about Mr. Beast, which is that he showed me that more is possible, that I can dream, that I don't have to live a 9 to 5 life until I retire and get cancer and die. But maybe I can do things that are worth doing. And now I have the blueprint. Both I both know that it's possible and I know how to do it or how to learn. From reinvesting to looking at data to trying things and persevering to building a team and all. So it vastly expanded what I think could be possible. And it's what I want to do for the people here too. So that if you're watching this, you don't have to change the world or anything, but now you know that you can. That it's that you can. You can go however far or high you want. And you don't have to be what people want you to be or to do what people want you to do or what you're supposed to do. And it's your choice. It's not the default choice that you cannot change anymore. Now it's your own choice. That's what I want to the community to be. I'm not sure why either. I'm not sure why I want to do that. I think I may want to do that because then people will get value from being in the community and then they won't leave. So it seems like a way to make the community more sustainable and able to compound in the long term. Maybe. I'm not sure. And also, I may find some people that become part of my crew from people in the community. It sounds very egoistical. I guess it is. Yeah, very egoistical. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Religion is partially about making the world a better place, but it's also about making a relationship with God. Life will never satisfy you. Hey, Fully! Hey, Fully, how are you doing? Life will never satisfy you until you believe in God. The Bible explains everything there is one needs to know. Christ is the only thing that will make you feel complete. You know how many people became famous just because they trusted Jesus or God? There's more to life than what life itself and the world lets you know. I need to read it again, though it's very costly because it's a very big set of books. I'll need to read at least part of the Bible again, but it's not what the impression that I got from when I read it when I was 16. Or it didn't seem convincing. At least to me then. At least then. It did give answers, but it didn't seem very there there seemed to be many holes and many things that were kind of contradicted within the same, like a few chapters later, or that were contradicted in history or something like that. But I probably don't know enough, so I cannot talk about it because I don't have enough knowledge. I'm not educated about it to speak. Not educated enough. Where the Bible is written by over 10 people, so a lot of the Bible is written from different perspectives and different things that happened. It's also very metaphorical. Yeah, I guess I'll need to spend some time on trying to understand religions again. My last encounter with religion is that I was trying to I was searching for what the people that did big things believed in. And it's very um, like Genghis Khan believed in the uh, eternal blue sky, which was the Mongol religion at the time. Um, like Caesar and Alexander didn't really believe in much, or like people just usually believe in whatever is the um, norm in terms of religious beliefs at the time and place in which they exist. So it changes widely. So all the people that did big things in like the Muslim Renaissance believed in Islam. Is that the right name? Islam? This is yeah, Islam religion. Um, People like in Jewish circles believed in the Torah. People in Christian circles believe in the Bible. But then yeah. So people in like China believe in Confu, the Confucianism. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. The guy, or yeah. And then sometimes some emperor creates a new religion. And then, for example, people in the USSR believed in communism. And so Marx said that religion is the opium of the people, so they created a new religion. And in most China too, where they replaced the deleted religions, I didn't work that well in like with the Dalai Lama and all because it was a very big part of the culture. So when they destroyed temples and killed religious people, it didn't go well. It was kind of easier in China. And so the religion was the CCP for a few decades. Yeah. And in terms of what the people that do big things believe in, it seems to be that they believe in either what is popular in the time and place in which they're alive, or they don't believe in anything. For example, like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Larry Ellison, most of the business people in the 21st or 20th century don't believe in much. Rockefeller did was a very fervent believer in Christianity. I'm not sure Carnegie was. I'm not sure Vanderbilt was. I don't know about them. So there doesn't seem to be a common thread except whatever works in the current time and place. Because if you're in a country where a specific religion is the state religion, then if you believe in something else, you're going to get persecuted. So it's usually a bad idea, especially if you want to do big things, because you're just going to get slowed or killed uh, for nothing. So it's usually a good idea to at least pretend that you believe in the state official religion, even if you believe in another religion, like Galileo. Though usually when you want to do big things, it's going to be very hard. So you have to be or you have to get pragmatic. And if you let belief that aren't how the world works cloud your vision, you're going to take much. You're going to grow much more slowly. And they can be like values that aren't how the world works, like when uh, Jobs created Next and acted based on beliefs and not based on data, so it didn't work very well. He didn't act lean or iterate fast. Or like when Mao set up the Great Leap Forward, but didn't get data, or usually all of the communist 5-year plans don't work very well because they're based on great ideas, but they're not updated fast, and it's like making a 5 years business plan, but the world is going to change in the meantime. Yeah, so yeah, I guess what I got from this is that it seems to be that people that do great things believe in what is popular or in nothing. And it's more like a function of not getting problems because you believe in something that is not popular and therefore you get persecuted or killed. More like believing in like the Greek gods because you really do believe in Poseidon and Zeus and all of those guys. It's more like if you don't believe in them, you're going to get killed. So you at least pretend. I'm not sure whether this is accurate or not, this assessment. So if you're a historian, history researcher, please comment on what is correct and what is incorrect in what I said. And if you have more knowledge than I have, please comment on what is correct and accurate and inaccurate and everything that I've talked about so far in this live and in all the other lives. The goal is to learn, to find the truth, to progress, to change my mind so that I change my mind to use things that work better. It's not to keep having beliefs that don't work, and therefore to keep on not being effective. All right, sorry. Um, the Bible and Torah are essentially the same thing. The Bible is the oldest religion. It's the oldest religion, like Christianity. Is it? I thought there was like Zoroastrianism or something. Let's see. Wasn't there Zoroastrianism? Hindu? Hindu? 3,000 years. Christianity, first century CE, so 2,000 years. Islam 7. Okay, so Islam is 1,600 years old, 504, about 1.5 millennia old. Christianity is about 2 millennia old. Hinduism is about 3 millennia old. Um, there may have been. Oh, so there were religions during the Paleolithic era, 10 millennia ago. In Hinduism. Okay, timeline of religion. Wow, so that's let me zoom in. That's quite old. 100,000 years BC, so 102,000 years ago, the first human burial of a child. Animals culture. Homo sapiens in Europe. The Venus figurine. Burial. Wow, okay, 10,000 years ago, the first shrines, Shakti shrines in India. One of the oldest sites of worship. Okay, so the first religion was, well, it was kind of Hinduism with the Shakti shrines, or it was among the first. Then Turkey. So what is it? Is it? No, it's not Islam yet, because Islam is 8,000 years later. Isn't there something with religions that evolve with, like there is Zoroastrianism, and that creates the concept of good and evil and the battle between the two, and then this is reused in Christianity and the Torah and Islam, and then they add new things or something like that. Anatolia. Turkey. So okay, so there have been, oh, the Sumerians, yeah. They're cool. The first civilization, one of the first civilizations. Wow, they created Stonehenge 5,000 years ago. Oh yeah, of course. There was the Egyptian religions before the new ones. The Minoan civilizations. Wow, I had never even heard of them. And they had, okay, so they already had religions 4,000 years ago. Gilgamesh. Oh wow, is that some? Wow, the Sumerians. Okay, The first civilization, the first literal civilization. I didn't know the Epic of Gilgamesh was made by the Sumerians. Isn't it like uh, religions evolving or transforming, kind of like the what was it that there was there's no story that is Chinese that is like Journey to the West or don't you remember the title? It may be Journey to the West, and it's the same story that uh, the Japanese mangaka used to create Dragon Ball, with a boy, a monkey boy, who grows and becomes stronger and eventually defeats God, or something like that, or becomes stronger than God. I think there was something like that. All right, so the Vedic period in India is kind of impressive because they have they had a religion for like 5,000 years, where people in Europe were I don't know what people in Europe were doing. The US didn't exist yet. It was just America with Native Americans, the Vedas, Rudra. Why? Oh, what is the reason why some Indian gods have three faces and more a larger number of hands or arms? Is it? I don't know. I don't know. Like to show the duality of the or like the different sides of the person. I cannot. Whoa! First monolatristic religion. Okay. All right. So, whoa! So there were actually a lot of religions before the current ones. It's kind of like there were many. There were Bing Crosby, and there were Mozart and Liszt in the Liszt Mania, and Elvis and Michael Jackson and all the Beatles before, say, Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande. The order they seem like they're the only thing that ever existed because the brain overvalues the present compared to the past or the future. There were many big and bigger things in the past. Wow. Someone who compiled Gilgamesh and who lived 3,000 years ago. Wow. I wonder what he would think if he knew that humanity went on the moon. Wow. I wonder what people in 3,000 years will have done. Will think. There won't be Wikipedia or anything anymore, and the current civilization will have probably ended. But there may be some traces of fossils or some writings, and I wonder what they think of us and what they think. Either the stupid guys in 2025 could see us. This is what we have done. This is what they wouldn't even believe their own eyes if they could see it. This is what we have done. We solved the heat death of the universe. Greek religions, Upanishads. Yeah, Zoroastrianism. Okay, Zoroastrianism. One of the world's oldest organized faiths. Wow, so is it kind of like it's centered on the teaching of the Prophet? So is it kind of like Islam with Muhammad and the Bible with Jesus, who are kind of like the main guys, or like the Church of the later days with the guy who wrote the text? Confucius, how is it pronounced?
Confucius.
Confucius. Confucianism.
Confucianism.
Confucianism. Okay, Confucius. Wow, so even Confucius, who was the father of the Chinese culture and all, wasn't the first. There were already several religions, like with the I don't remember the name, but the Chinese dynasty, Shang dynasty, I think. Did he reuse what already existed to write the texts? And Buddha creating. Oh wow! So Buddha, Buddhism was way before the rest, though much later than Hinduism. Hindu. Socrates and the birth of philosophy. Jesus. Wow! The metamorphosis. Wow! The Gospels. Judaism. Manichaeism. Wow! It was a major world religion. And it's an endangered religion. Okay, so religions are created and die too. Okay, it was a major world religion. Okay. Nicene Creed. Oh wow, okay, so it's the the creed of Christianity only for the people that live in Constantinople. Okay. Outlaws paganism. Hippo. St. Augustine. For that all superstition of pagans and heathen should be annihilated is what God wants, God commands, God proclaims. Okay. Saint Augustine, okay, seems like a warlord. I mean, if you kill a lot of your competitors, then they're not going to be threats. So I guess it works. The Roman Empire, the decline of the Roman Empire. So yeah, so a lot of things in between. I guess at some point there is African religious systems becoming the head of the church. Okay. The Chhatrapati, the king of a kingdom. Okay. So there seems to be a lot of people using religion as a means to gain power, whether prophets or kings or revolutionaries. atheism, de-Christianization of France, which bans. It's kind of funny because it's like there's the religion in power and it crushes all of the other religions. Then there's another one that comes and that kills the existing one, and then now this one crushes all of the other ones, and including the former one. So if it was paganism and now Christianity comes in, that destroy, like St. Augustine said, all of the pagan objects and temples and everything. And now I don't know what it is, the revolutionary government. So it's like the USSR, maybe. USSR. Oh, it's the French Revolution, okay. Or it's like the CCP coming in and saying, no, we're the big guys. So all of the previous religions and things are destroyed. And then the new one comes in and do the same after a while. Protestant. The Constitution of the US. The cult of the supreme being. The cult of reason. Okay. Bobism. The Bob. Okay. Creating writings, or so kind of like the Church of the Later Days guy. Joseph Smith, Later Day Saint movement. Yeah, like this guy who uh, wrote things as a prophet. The life of Ramakrishna. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, who is the Messiah. There's a lot of Messiah, many Messiah here. Oh, succession craze, I know that. It was the same when uh, Lenin died. And it was, they were, like Stalin won, but it was very hard actually for Stalin to win because there was Trotsky that was a very threatening and dangerous opponent, but there were quite a few others that wanted power. Same for Mao and others. It's hard. Succession crises are hard. Zeal, Christian Science. There's Scientology too at some point, I guess. Thelema. Oh wow. The Magician. Aleister Crowley. It's a great name. Aleister Crowley. Sounds good. Sorry, I'm sorry if you believe in that. It just sounds funny. Identifying himself as the prophet entrusted with guiding humanity into the Aeon of Horus. A magician and the painter and the mountaineer. I'm sorry. I don't want to be insulting, but like, it's the weekend. Today I'm going to climb a mountain and found a religion, and then I'm going to guide humanity into the Aeon of Horus, and then I'll do some magic, some close-up magic card tricks, And then I'll start my main project, which still is getting into the Eon of Horus. BAPS, a sect. Isn't there a paramilitary movement like this in India? Califatul, another prophet. A lot of prophets here. Moorish Science Temple of America for African Americans that are Islamic and Moorish and descendants of the Moabites. The Lenin and the October Revolutions. Persecution. Shall die. Oh, wow, that's scary symbol. Okay, Taoism, Confucianism, Rastafari in Jamaica. Okay. Oh wow! Oh, I remember that. Is it a succession crisis too? The guy didn't succeed at taking over. Like what was his name? The main Mao competitor from the KMT, who badly organized his economy and warfare, and therefore who lost against the CCP, and then he retreated to Taiwan or something like that. So he couldn't take over China, so he took over Taiwan. Isn't there something? Is it kind of similar? Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay. Neo-Hindu. The Holocaust. Okay, so there seems to be some patterns which are whatever power, whatever group of people is in power, kills all of the people that aren't in the in group because there are threats, whether it be the church, the state, the Nazi Germany, or the USSR, um, or the um, democracy, though not as much for democracy. First nation state in the name of Islam. Scientology, Wicca. Okay, is he a prophet too? He did write some texts. Is this one a prophet? We don't know. Yeah, I remember that. It was Mao taking over Tibet. The Church of All Worlds. Wow, so okay. The Church of Satan. Okay. I guess there is demand for anything. Okay. So there is an official organization for Satanism. And so was he a prophet or something? Satanist. Okay. He do look like a Satanist. So religions keep being created with Germanic neopaganism, the Temple of Set, the Raelian movement, Raelianism, Stragerian. Wow, so which is Wicca for Italian Americans. Okay, so that's kind of niche. Killing Indira Gandhi. Okay. The Joy of Satan. Wow. Okay, so now the druids. Okay, so now there is Satan and the druids and sectarian rivalries. Scientology, because they were defrauding people. Civil War, the Satanic Temple. It's new. It's pretty new. 12 years ago. Orthodox. Okay. It was a long read. So basically, religions have been around for a very long time since the first burial sites. A very long time ago, like 100,000 years ago, something, 100,000 years ago. And then the first religions were Hinduism. Maybe before that, like in 40,000 BCE, there may have been proto-religions, though we may not have enough data. Though some behaviors do sound like religions, like the pharaohs and pyramids, Egyptians' pyramids. And then the first religions were maybe Hinduism with the Shakti shrines, and then maybe some proto Islamic religions, and then the Sumerian ones. After a while, a very long time, there were a lot of Egyptian and Minoan and Stonehenge and Hindu and Chinese and Akkadian and all that religions in between. Then there were the ancient Greek religion, Zoroastrianism, Confucianism, Pythagoreanism, the synagogue, the Tao Te King, the Hebrew Bible, then eventually Jesus after a while, and then eventually the Saint Augustine thing to kill all the pagans, and then after a while some caliphates in between. Oh, the Shinto, the start of the Shinto religion, new variations of Hinduism, and then some cruises, and then I may have missed. Yeah, I missed it. I missed Hindu, Buddhism and Islam, and some wars, a lot of wars and all that. And new religions being created and other religions dying, and that's where we are. Okay, that was. I just wanted to talk about Lil Peep when I started this live. I didn't want to spend an hour learning about religions, but I guess it may be useful. It puts things into perspective for me, at least. Okay, so yeah. So to summarize it all a lot, there's a lot of religions with new ones being created and older ones dying all the time. Um, when a new religion comes, it seems to be a struggle for survival, and when a new one becomes the dominant one, it tries to crush all of the other ones. Otherwise, there could be threats that could rise and crush the one in power, kind of like in a dictatorship where it's best to not take any risk. Otherwise, you're just going to get killed. There are a lot of war for that. There seems to be some connection with politics or power with the Henry England king becoming the supreme leader of the church, and with some states becoming a religious state in uh, and Arabic or from Arabia, countries like that, and maybe some Chinese dynasties. Um, what else? I don't know yet whether religions reuse each other's tours. Like, I think there was something in the myth, the hero's journey, where the guy discovered that the myth of there's a virgin dressed in white that has a child is found in a lot of religions, not just one. So maybe that's something that like an idea that work like hit songs don't use that many chord progression. Why? Is it because they are all sellouts with no creativity? Where I don't know them, so I can't talk about that. But the thing is that it may be the case. I don't know. But in terms of the total amount of chord progressions that exist, there aren't that many that sound good. And if you want to make music that sounds good, that is enjoyable to listen to, you don't have that much of a choice. You're going to use the same ones over and over again because there's just not that many possibilities that are enjoyable to listen to. So it may be something like that for ideas. It's like in a like with the same um, traits, uh, parallel evolution, where like in several environments that aren't connected, the same species develop the same traits like wings because there aren't that many possibilities at work. So it may be something like that. I don't know. If you have any knowledge about it, please write comments. So yeah, that was that was tonight's um, discovery. X and P, but I guess I'll do it tomorrow because I'm tired. Yeah. So people in the chat, I haven't read your messages for a while because I was reading Wikipedia. I read what you've talked about in the meantime. Christianity is the first religion with actual proof of stuff that has happened in the Bible. Read the chat. I'm getting tired. I'm not ready for history class. Alright, so you probably left in the meantime where. Why are the three. Okay. I'm not sure what. There shouldn't be three people in watching this live when I've spent an hour reading the history of religion. Okay. Uh, how that was. Well, I learned things. I don't know whether that was entertaining, but I learned things. Yeah. So religion is not new. There are many in many countries, and they all are born and die. And it may be kind of like species. Not really organisms, but species. So yeah, to whoever followed, watched this stream, or whoever will watch it and replay, I hope this was. Well, I don't know whether it was useful or not. Well, I'll see you anyway. Um, if you want to hear more about this, I can teach you tomorrow. Well, I'll tell you tomorrow. I don't think so, or at least not tomorrow. I'm very tired. And it's kind of. Um, I'm disappointed, I guess. I thought the state of religion was better. I'm disappointed. I was very, very disappointed when I read about when I read more about communism and like the Great Leap Forward, the USSR, the 5-year plans, um, the Khmer Rouge. Yeah, not and even the ones that try to make things work. Very disappointed. I guess it's kind of like it's how we learn. We try things and must fail, and so we don't do them again. I guess very costly losses though, but hopefully we can learn. Yeah, yeah. Not in a stream. What do you mean I gotta go? Okay, see you. Well, you already left. Okay. Well, we're alone. You and I, people from the future. Yeah. Um, we're going to end the stream soon. I can use some of it, but it's still disappointing to read. Like I would think that after 100,000 years, we learn. But it seems that the brain doesn't evolve that fast. Or that is not how it's supposed to evolve, I guess, because I don't know. It's not supposed to evolve for maximum, uh, like, social and technological progress. It's not the fitness function. It's supposed to evolve for maximum number of children that survive. So that's a very different fitness function. And the iteration time is slow. Kernel of communism, it seems like a great idea until you do it. And then it fails miserably. So, yeah. Guess I'll keep making songs and being anxious when I wake up because I want to change the world and it's hard and I have no certainty that I'll go to heaven. But at least I'll try, I guess. I haven't yet, lol, but I'm gonna know. No. Okay, see you eventually. I'm going to end the stream anyway. Um, yeah, and I'll talk about Mr. Beast tomorrow. So I guess the lesson is, I don't know. Iterate fast, maybe. Update fast. Whether for communism or religion or anything. Or business models or business plans or plans or uh, anything. But also, I don't like to feel like I'm forced. I feel like, uh, no offense because I like him, but I feel like I kind of got, my hand was forced to talk about religion, but it's not what I plan to do. I need to be more assertive, I guess. I don't know. So I'm going to take a break and then work on the song. And then I'll create the future. And it's taking a long time, but I won't give up. That's what I can do. That's what I can do. At the end of a live stream, and don't know what to talk about. Maybe if I can sing, and I can find what to talk about. It's the end of the live stream, oh, and I thank you for watching. Oh, don't know whether that was interesting or exciting, but maybe it was useful. So thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I wasted a lot of time tonight. This wasn't useful. It's not useful. It was a lot of wasted time. It wasn't even that interesting, learning about religions and all. It's not going to be very useful to me, neither in the short term nor medium term. I should have been working on a song instead. So that's what I'm going to do now, and for what to learn from it. For as about what to learn from this stream, I guess don't talk about things that I don't want to talk about. Otherwise, it's not fun. Iterate fast. Take my own advice. Iterate fast. Iterate fast. I guess. So I'll try to do that in the next stream. And when someone talks about things that I think is not or not fun, or fun, or what I won't talk about it, I guess I won't answer, or I don't know. So anyway, uh, people from the future watching this days or weeks or months or years or decades into the future, uh, yeah, I feel like it was a lot of wasted time. I'm sorry. Yeah, just another mistake, I guess. But it's okay, what I can do is to keep going, to persevere. And one day I'll grow and I'll have a team and we'll make music videos and then we'll make cool things and it will be okay. And all of this wasted time and failures or the failures won't matter anymore. So to end this stream, let me read what I wanted to. Where it is. What I wanted to. Let me read out loud what I wanted to read out loud, which is my songs that I made in 2022 about when I was scared that AI generated music would make musicians, including me, irrelevant and would make my dream not doable anymore. The name of the song is To the Coming Wind. And I felt like, retrospectively, it's as if someone made a song at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution about everything about the incredible and gigantic and immense things that are to come that don't exist yet, but you can feel that the world is about to change and that there are going to be steel mills and refineries and buildings and railroads and steam machines, and that it's so just on the verge of coming, and that the world is going to change, that it won't ever be the same, and you can feel it. It's just there, about to happen. And at the same time, the person writing it was afraid because I'm just a small human. I'm not a god. I'm just a small human. And I'm scared of change. And I'm scared of the future. And I'm scared of everything. I'm just scared. And then This person that sees all the incredible things that are about to happen, or the immensity not even fathomable, or the larger than life changes that the world is about to be brought into. This person that is so small and scared and just terrified of it all, and is just like a small little mouse in a big world, just being crouched and scared. This person becomes Rockefeller. And this person creates the things that are to come. They become part of the world that changes. They create the things that change the world, the oceans, the oceans. Because that's what I want to do. So I invite you to listen to this song. The name of the song is To the Coming Ones. It's not well rapped. I wasn't good at rapping or anything, but still, please listen to it. And this song may become important in the future at a scale of decades, because if I don't die soon, then I will become a Rockefeller. It will take a long time, but I will. If I don't die like within the next 10, 20 years, I have very little doubts that I will become Rockefeller and Elon and Mr. Beast. And but 3 years ago, I didn't even know who Rockefeller or Elon or Mr. Beast were, or that people like that could exist. And when I made this song, I was just scared. And as I am right now, I'm nothing. I have 400 subscribers. Yesterday, I lost 2 subscribers. I can't even buy a computer, although my computer died because I have no money. There's one person watching the live streams and all, so everything. I'm nothing. I've learned more and I've progressed compared to 3 years ago, but I'm nothing. I'm not Rockefeller. I'm 16 years old Rockefeller. And this song captures me at the beginning, before I knew I could become a Rockefeller, before I even knew who Rockefeller was, or that some people like Rockefeller existed. Before I knew anything. Small speck of dust in the waves of change, and then I become the ocean. Step by step, and it's taking a very long time, but I will. And I'm doing it every day, working on a song, learning. It's because of what I do now that I will grow. Yeah. So, going to read the song, the lyrics. I'm scared that will come the day where. Oh, wait. Sorry. Found the lyrics. Recently, I've been anxious, I've been afraid, I've been upset at the recent progress and its accelerating pace in AI and in the rest, quietly changing the way humans live and humans change. I've seen complex systems do better than humans can at games, painting, or chess with machines of battered iron, making images and text, writing odysseys and songs with nothing but a single phrase. I'm scared that will come the day when all my efforts and my pain and all my failures and attempts will never matter anymore because a bot will do the same things I trained so hard to make but better than I could ever hope for. I'm scared that will come the day when nobody will want to bear listening to the imperfect songs a lonely human made, and if nobody ever hears the words I feel and write and say, was it really worth saying them in the first place? And I know that I cannot change the coming tides or coming winds, the ideas or the markets is just how the human race is, and I know that I can't stop them, and I know that it could well be worth much more than the cost I feel. I know too well the times will change. The past isn't a masterpiece. The revolutions can be stopped, but only temporarily. But I'm afraid I lose again everything that is dear to me now that my everything became my dream. dream. And I'm so afraid so much at night I cannot sleep. I think about all I could see if I could be what I promised. So I do everything I can. I give my all and I'm sinking. I give so much that I'm burning. I'm already at my limit, but I can't stop and I can't flee and I can't die. So I must live and I must try because this dream is worth much more than everything. So I will burn and I will sink and I will not be regretting laying my health and flame and youth to become what I believed in, so I won't stop. I'll take all of my worrying, all of my doubts and my feelings, this uncertainty breaking me, and then I'll find a melody that I could sing my sorrow to and pour it in a song like this before I go with the wind. To the coming winds, I'll blow, I'll blow stronger than the coming winds, than the coming winds. I had no idea how or if it was even possible to blow stronger than the coming winds. And I have no idea how or if it's possible to blow stronger than the coming winds. Maybe it's just creating the winds, not blowing stronger but becoming the coming winds. In all cases, I don't know how or what to do or if it's possible to blow stronger than the coming winds, but I will. Thank you very much.